Hello and welcome back to the Lakeshore Video Podcast. My name is George. I'm your host and owner of Lakeshore Video, and with me today is Charbria Shine.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. So today, Charbria, I just wanted to bring you on because you are a local business owner
Yes.
here in Northwest India, and this podcast kind of focuses on local businesses as well as artists, and Charbria is both. So I thought it was a good blend, a good transition, because so far on my podcast, all I've had is basically musicians, and I wanted to kind of transition over into the business side of things to kind of highlight all the businesses in the region. So,
Yeah.
what is your business called?
Yes. So my business is Iconic Heiress LLC. It's a production company, and we focus on inspiring and empowering women to live, laugh, love, and heal through stage plays, events, and film.
Oh, very cool,
Yeah.
very cool. And I know I've worked with you plenty of
Yeah.
times, so I personally know like a lot about what you guys do. But can you go like a little more in depth about
Sure.
what you guys do, some events that you've had like
Yes.
that?
So we have done a lot, as you know.
Yeah.
So the first one we did was my stage play Single Woman Chronicles, which is coming up again soon. Woo woo. But that was our first stage play that we did under my company. But then after that, we kind of expanded because I'm also not just my background is in dancing, singing, and acting, but I'm also a songwriter. So we did a lot of dinner and live music events where I did original music and I mixed it in with some gospel music. Then we had some with some jazz music. So we've had dinner and live music events. Then we switched over to like themed dinner and live music events like the era of 1920s with the Great Gatsby, the 1970s. We've had my Max Out Girl women's conferences, a lot of women's empowering events. We've done so much. So we've had a blast though.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
I wanted to kind of dive deeper into how you got into this
Yeah.
business because that's kind of a unique business.
Mm.
Not a lot of people do this, and I want to know how did you like? Did you always have dreams of doing this business, or was it something that just kind of happened, kind of fell into it? What got you interested in this?
So my childhood dream was to dance on Broadway and to perform on Broadway and be into musical theater. So growing up, yes, I started dance lessons in elementary school and I was always singing in the choir. So my parents started to put me in professional dance lessons. And when I went to a performing arts school in middle school, Emerson in Gary, Indiana, I really started to see that I just didn't love dance, that I wanted to actually act and I actually wanted to sing. I loved musical theater. And that passion continued through high school, and then I went to Columbia College for a while. I did some professional dancing and acting, things like that, but then real life happened, right? And I was like, "Okay, I don't wanna move away," because I had options to move away and pursue it. I wanted to stay closer to home with my family. My mother had a sickness at the time, so I stayed home, but I still loved it. I ended up, stopping doing it for a while, went and got a business degree because I was in management because real life happened, right? And so during that time, I was like, I wanna get back to my first love. My
Mhm.
mother got better, things got better, and I'm like, I wanna go back. So I started to be in local performances at like the Star Plaza, West Side Theater Guild, and I just continued to do it. And then I just one day quit my job.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was just like, okay, I'm gonna be a Zumba instructor. I'm gonna teach dance lessons. I'm gonna, choreograph for a theater. I did a lot of random things until again, actually, I tore a ligament in my right ankle and it ended my dancing career.
Oh, no.
Dun, dun, dun. But you always gotta have that backup plan, right?
Yeah.
So it was good. I got the business degree, so that was good. So I went back into just working in the field until I could heal back up. But I really wasn't able to go back like full time into it. I did things on the side while I was working this other full time job until I got married, actually.
Mhm. Oh,
And once I got married, my husband was just like, "What's in your heart? What do you wanna do? Pursue that." And that was a blessing. Like,
yeah,
I
that's great.
quit that job, and I've been doing it ever since. I've been singing and then started to do shows, and I've always liked to create. So just being able to write, I wasn't seeing stories that really resonated with me. So I was like, "Just create your own. Like, what story do you wanna tell?" And that's kinda how I got into it. No, that's a long
Yeah,
story,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that's
No,
kinda
that
how I shifted into it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. I personally haven't done anything with performing arts, but I was in band in high
Nice.
school,
Okay.
and so I kind of have a little bit of a connection to the performing arts side of things just through music.
Yeah.
I was in a band in college and
That's
stuff,
awesome.
so
Yeah.
I still play guitar. You see them up on the wall here.
Guitar over there.
We're filming at my house if you guys didn't know.
Nice.
Yeah, so I can definitely relate to that, and I have a ton of friends because I went to Ball State, so I have a ton of friends and who did, like, theater and stuff like that. We did, like, some kind of, flash mob video for Taco Bell back in 2015 with a bunch of people from Ball State. Yeah, it was kinda cool. It was like they actually let us, film at the Taco Bell Cantina in Chicago in Lincoln Park.
Now, is this somewhere we can find this?
I don't know if it's still up or
Okay.
not.
I was gonna say, can we go on YouTube,
It was a
everybody?
little cringy. It was like I mean,
Oh,
honestly, it was during the flash mob era where those were real big back in, like,
those
2015.
were a big deal.
But, you might be able to find it somewhere.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, because for me personally, it was a big deal jumping into video full time. So, that first time when you said you went back and decided, "I'm gonna quit my job," what was that like? What did you feel in that
Right before I had
Yeah, right before you quit your job. What was going through your mind?
um I remember it like it was yesterday. I was sitting at a job and I was, helping a customer and I was just like, I am not fulfilled. What am I doing here? It was just like, and that wasn't the first time that I had that moment, but you just stick it out, right? Because you don't want to quit anything. So I just stayed there over month after month after month until one day that feeling was so overwhelming. And I was just like, are you gonna take a chance on yourself? Take a chance. You're young. Why not? I mean, the worst that can happen is you fail and you have to go back to a job like that. Hey, but you're already at that place, right? So just go for it. And so I did. I put my 2 weeks in, and during that time, I pursued like trying to find jobs, being a dance teacher, being in a dance company, also teaching fitness, and I was able to do it. I mean, I was working really hard. I was always dancing, always teaching, but I had so much joy because I was doing what I love to do, and I feel like that's priceless, and I feel like you owe it to yourself at least once in life to go for it. I think
Yeah.
more than once. I think till you make it.
So you think, for all the people out there who are, like, thinking about, "Maybe I should do it, maybe I shouldn't," you say just go for it?
I do say that. I will say it depends on what season you're in your life. Like, I had no children, I wasn't married, so it's like, it's just me, I can do what I want basically. But I do feel like if you do have children or a husband, you do have to make a plan of, or a wife, you have to make a plan of how we're gonna work this out, some type of plan, because if you have children depending on you to feed them and you don't have any money saved up, you can't just quit your job, right? But there's always a way to think about it. Like, at one point, I know some friends who are working their full-time job, but at night they work on their side hustle,
Mm,
until, it can overtake their job, their income and their job. So I think it's more ways to skin a cat, as they say.
yeah.
Yeah, so
That's kinda how I recommend it too, is,
yeah.
like, you should do it on the nights and weekends, keep your full-time job
Yeah.
while because you need that income.
You you need it.
If you just jump off, like, don't be stupid about it. But, that's what I did with my business too. I worked nights and weekends for, like, 5 years while working jobs I didn't really like.
But it's
Yeah.
temporary
Yeah.
because you're gonna go for your dream.
Mhm. And I was working in Chicago while living in Crown Point. Luckily, I was able to live with my parents at the time, so I saved up a bunch of money, and I was able to buy a bunch of equipment and,
That's a
just
yeah,
kinda, like,
good
get
way to
my
do it.
Yeah, and while I was working these terrible jobs in Chicago, I was working in IT, and actually started in a call center and then got into IT at that call center by some miracle, I don't know how, and then I got laid off and went into marketing
Yeah.
at another company, but I convinced these companies to let me film internal videos with, like, the CEO of the company, so I had this awesome reel for, corporate video, and that's the bread and butter of my
That's
business.
awesome.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean, like, that first feeling when you're about to jump off, you're like, "I know I'm not happy.
Yeah.
I know I wanna do this,
Yeah.
but it's very scary."
It
But
is. It can be.
if you just do it smart and, like, just work your fingers to the bone
Yeah.
at the beginning, then, it's
So it's younger as well. So I wouldn't say that I was necessarily smart at the time.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it was more so passion and what do I have to lose? But now at the age I am now, the second time that I quit, being in the industry, I had a plan and I didn't just quit. I made sure that there was income there for me so that I had like a net. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you don't,
Ye
you're gonna be on the street,
yeah, yeah,
So it was very different. Yeah, when we did it the second time when I was married, we had a plan, like, okay, we had a big contract that came in, so
oh,
it replaced all my income actually for the
mhm,
whole year, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
So
I can do this.
yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
how did you go about getting that big contract? That's something that probably in your industry, like a lot of people want to know. Like, how do you get those contracts? How do you actually like make money in this business?
Yeah, so to be honest, I just have to give credit to God because I wasn't even pursuing it. I actually was working my regular job and through an independent event, and a director of a town saw that event, and they were like, "Wow, this is awesome. We'd love you to do this." And I'm like, "Oh, sure, I'll do one thing for you." I'm like, "That's fine." They're like, "Yeah, no, we would like you to do this, like, for a couple years." And I'm like, "What?" And I had known of these types of contracts just because, when I did graduate from school, I did dance professionally for a while, and I knew that some organizations hire a company. My old dance teacher had a productions company, kind of similar, but it was just dance, where they'll hire you to do a bunch of entertainment, maybe for an organization or a casino or a town. So I was aware of that, but at
Mhm.
that time in my life, I wasn't really thinking about that. I just wanted to get out there and do what I love to do. So I was keeping my full time job and just pursuing it, like you said, on the side,
Mhm.
and it just opened up. I feel like preparation meets opportunity. To me, that's success. You prepare when no opportunity is there.
Yeah.
And as you're doing it and going out and perfecting your gift, someone's gonna notice.
Yeah.
Even if it's not an organization, maybe it's just your customer base notices and you can get, people to be your fan base. But I think you just have to go for it. And even if that definitely be smart, like you're saying, but find a way to do a little bit of what you love.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very cool. That's kind of was my approach with my business and stuff. But one thing that I think business owners overlook, and this is maybe a little plug for me, is marketing. The marketing side of things, like just having a proper website, that's
Yeah.
huge. I know so many businesses that don't even like have a website. They rely entirely on social media,
Mhm.
and that's very risky
Mhm.
because I had a buddy recently who got his Instagram hacked. His business was gone overnight. Now
He had no website.
he had a website, but his website was like essentially no traffic because it had poor SEO.
Okay.
So without good SEO, no traffic to your website, like all of he was another videographer and
Yeah.
all of his income was coming through Instagram and he got hacked somehow and they deleted his account because the hacker posted a bunch of like terrible things that basically just got his account banned
Really?
and there was no appeal like
There's no way to get
when
it back.
when you tried to appeal it they're like no, you violated our terms of service, you posted all these terrible things. And I he didn't even see what they posted.
Yeah, he didn't
It
know.
like it got deleted before he even got to see what it actually got posted. But he luckily, this was some kind of miracle, but he knew somebody in LA that worked for Instagram,
Really?
and he just like because he's a videographer, he goes to LA sometimes, so he just happened to know them, and they were like a friend of a friend, and they got it reviewed again and got it reinstated. So
Like,
he's back up and running, but it was a big scare.
I've
And
heard of a couple of our friends that happen to they make their money on TikTok or on Instagram, and
Mhm.
someone hacked him and said, "You have to give us this amount of money," and no one's gonna
Oh
do that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so he rebuilt it, but that's just scary when you think of that. They always say make sure you have your own at least email
Mhm.
list and definitely a website. I will say marketing is great too. I will put a plug out for you because you don't know, but he's done a lot of video work on my productions. Your video work has actually helped me get more contracts.
Really, that's
Yeah,
great.
because if you
Yeah,
don't, I can say all day long, like, "Oh, I've done all these amazing shows or events," but you need proof.
yeah,
Where is it? They'd love to see a highlight reel or a recap video or
Mhm.
something. And so I think if you can, if it's in your budget, I think it is really important to try to capture that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you've done
definitely.
a great job with that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And so you have a website?
Yes, I do.
What's the website?
Charbria.com.
Trying to feed you a little plug here.
Yeah.
Charbria.com. Okay,
Charbria.com.
cool.
I have it at Charbria.com or Charbria Shine. It's the same website. Whatever you put in, you'll get there. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, and I see. That's why I think a website's important because, like social media, you just want to drive people back to your website, and that's where you make your sale.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
how how did you go about marketing your business in the beginning? Just getting your name out there.
Mhm. I would say probably just like old school word of mouth guerrilla marketing. Yeah, because when I had my first show in 2021, my first one was actually an EP release party. And it literally was like friends and family, word of mouth. Me and my husband were just like talking to everybody we knew, emailing on social media. Then we started just displaying some of the songs on their music video. So we really just had to hustle and bustle and really
Mhm.
just go out there and get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I will say now, with the shows, I will say Facebook ads help a lot too with like stage plays and stuff like that because you're trying to get a wider market. Word of mouth is still number one, but when you're trying to get those who are not in your, area, I think Facebook ads have helped a lot as well. Yeah.
Er
Or any type of ads,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, cool. I personally have never run any ads, so it's been almost entirely word of mouth, but,
Yes.
one thing that I found, I don't know if you do this, but, like, local community groups, like, there's a Crown Point community group, and
Mhm.
then there's a Valpo community group. There's a lot of good opportunities for marketing in there because somebody will ask, like, "Hey, I need a videographer for something," and I'll
Yeah.
I'll be there to post. Do you utilize
Like
any
a
of this?
Facebook local group or
Yeah, yeah, like the Crown
Oh.
Point group. I all the time I see inquiries for something that is, like, sort of related. I'm like, "Hey, I can help you out if you need video."
Yeah, I'm in some of those groups actually. I do see like when I need actors or I need different things.
Mm.
Social media has helped a lot. I'll just say, "Hey, this is going on. Hey, that," and I feel like so many people comment. So yeah, I do think that with plays, it's a little different. I usually don't see like, "Hey, where's a play going on?" or
Yeah,
or
yeah.
music concert, but sometimes people are asking for that. Yeah.
Have you seen a huge shift, over the years with social media? Has it changed the way that you do plays or anything? Like, I know that people's attention spans have been shifting and
Mhm.
things like that. Do you change your style up or anything over the years because of that?
But
Or
of the actual stage play?
yeah, mhm.
No, I will say
Keep it traditional.
No, I will agree with that a little bit because I will say that technology plays a bigger role in it. So we are actually looking for ways to incorporate more of technology in our shows because right now it is traditional, but I think like technology does play a big role in that, like
Mhm.
how you could just switch, like you said, our attention span. So when you could switch things up,
Yeah.
I do think that that's great. So I do like technology. I've seen a lot of shows lately that have done away with some of the traditional ways, and then I've seen some shows that integrate both. I'm probably a more of an integrate both the old school and the new school,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what sort of technologies do you implement? Do you have, like, screens or
So now we're trying to see about doing some screens or yeah, because we have done, like, the traditional, set, and we've been to a lot of shows where they don't have a set, everything's just digital.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
But I've seen both. We just went to a show, at the Chicago Shakespeare Theater, and theirs was a traditional set. They had 2 screens on the side, though, but so I'm seeing it different ways, but I think
Yeah.
it's so cool. I feel like with theater, there is no right and wrong. You literally if you can imagine it, you can create it, you can do it, and I love it. It's just it could be just craziness, but it's awesome, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's something, you would say to people who are, like, on the fence about going and seeing a show? Maybe they are more of a movie person.
Yeah.
Like, what would you say to that kind of person?
I would say try it once because you may love it, you may hate it, but you never know. Like there's been some things that I'm like, I would not like this. I am not going to this. And I go and I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I think it's always good to expose yourself to different things. Like even if you say, oh, I hate opera, go one time.
Mhm.
You may take something away from it. You may find, oh, I did like that. Or you may find, yeah, I didn't. But I just think you should expose yourself to things. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
One more thing.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
With theater, guys, there is different types of theater. So that I feel like there is something for everyone. Like if you think that like, oh, I don't want to see anything Shakespeare, that's so boring. That's fine because honestly, that's not my thing. But it's so many different types of theater. There's theater where it's all technology, where there's people fire going in the audience, people I mean,
Mhm.
it's just so much now. It's not just
Yeah.
your traditional theater. So I think you just have to research like what style you like. Just like MJ the musical. You
Mm.
might just like music. That was an amazing show. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not to me a traditional show.
Mm.
When you go there, it was like we were in a concert with MJ.
Oh, yeah.
We knew it wasn't MJ, but you know what I'm saying. No one MJ, but it was so cool. So I feel like, and there's some shows that after 30 minutes, I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. I'm out of there.
Yeah.
And I'm a theater lover,
Yeah.
but you gotta try it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try it once, guys. Give it a chance.
Do you have a favorite theater?
Ooh,
Either to see or to perform at?
a favorite theater. Oh my gosh. I would say since I'm in the Chicagoland area, I will represent, I like the Chicagoland Theater just because it's classic. It's beautiful. It's right there, on State Street. But I also would say the Auditorium Theater is beautiful and the Neverlander.
Oh, okay. Where those at?
Chicago.
Oh, both in Chicago.
Both in Chicago.
No, all Chicago.
Yeah, I'm representing, guys. I'm in the Chicagoland area, so I'm not gonna say anyone else. But yeah,
Very
there's some obviously awesome ones in New York.
Yeah, 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 very cool.
Yeah.
I just went to the
You
Chicago.
did.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You just went there.
I just went to the Chicago theater for the first time recently.
Was it cool or was it not
It was a
as
concert. So it was, like, a little different because it wasn't a play, it was just a concert, but and it was a metal show, so
okay, so it's gotta be
typically
really different, yeah.
yeah, very, very kind of a weird concert venue um for metal because, like, typically in a metal show, you have, like, a big pit where everybody, like, mosh
Hangs
pit
after
sort of
themselves,
thing,
yeah.
yeah, but at this place, it's, all seating, so it was, like, a little
What was
different.
everybody were they all seated or standing
And
up, right?
well, some people were standing, some people were sitting, yeah, I was up in the balcony, a lot of
That's
people up there
unique.
were sitting, but, the theater itself is beautiful, though, just so ornate, I couldn't
It
believe
I'm saying,
half the show I'm staring at the ceiling.
some theater.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
okay, yeah.
I really thought it was a great theater, but,
Yeah,
it was a weird one for that type of music,
yeah.
just because I don't like to usually sit during
You wanna stand up and
Yeah.
have a good time. Yeah, it is they're using that theater for all kind of stuff. They do comedy shows, they do everything there. I feel like they do more of that there,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, like the Neverlander, it's huge. It's also has a lot of the decor, the
Mm.
nice decor and stuff like that, but I've seen a ton of shows there. MJ the Musical, I know Devil Wears Prada, just so many. I saw Betty Boop, but that was actually in a different theater downtown, I'm trying to think, yeah, so
Which one's your favorite that you performed at?
um, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I mean, I love them all. I
Yeah.
feel like they're all so awesome. Cause for me, I'm gonna be honest, the kind of person that I am, I like the really tiny little ones.
Mhm. Oh, really?
Yeah, because that you can feel the audience,
Mhm.
just that one-on-one.
Yeah,
Have you ever been you say you performed, it's different, don't get me wrong, I like big stages, I do it all, but
yeah.
just that one-on-one intimate crowd,
Mhm.
I feel like you feel their heartbeat, you feel
Yeah.
and it really energizes you, like, we just did a show at West Side Theater Guild and I've done a lot of shows there, and I love it. I'm doing my next show there now. But it was like I took some of my actors from doing we just did a really 100-seater to their 2,000-seater. So they were like we did the same show, but I changed the show around obviously because it's such a bigger show, so we had to make a set and everything. And they were like, "Oh my god, this is bigger. It's so different than the other one." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a different feeling." So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I like them all, but I like really tiny.
I filmed a play at the IO Theater in Chicago
Mhm.
recently, and that was a very small venue.
Yeah.
It was
I don't
like
think I've ever been there, the IO Theater.
I think that yeah, I think it's IO. I think they do, like, a lot of improv shows and
Okay,
stuff
like
there.
smaller shows.
Mhm, and, the show that I was watching was, I don't know, somebody from LA hired me to do it. I can't remember what group it was, but they take it on the road and stuff, and it was, like, almost like, the seating was like little tables, and put, like, maybe 3 or 4 chairs around each table, and it was almost like a tiny comedy club t style,
Yeah.
and it was, like, not really a stage, it was, like, just a couple step ups for the tables, and then down at the bottom is where they were performing, but there was, like, maybe 100 people,
Yeah.
like, max that could fit
Really?
in the room, so it was,
Different, right?
yeah,
It
yeah.
is very
And it was cool because like, the they have, like, the band off to the side and, like, the performing back and forth, it's like you're watching the show, and then you're like, "Oh, the band's over here, what do they do?" And it's, like, very, very, like, I think at one point, the band got up and started walking around in the audience and stuff, and
That's
it's,
pretty
like
cool.
it's so small and cozy feeling, so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely different from a
Different.
big stage.
Yeah, and I love the big stage, I'm
Mm,
not gonna lie, I absolutely adore that, but there's something different about that
yeah,
intimate, small group
connection, yeah,
connection.
mm,
Yes, I absolutely love that. Yeah.
very cool.
Mhm.
Um I know you take your show on the road. Where have you been and where are you going with
Yeah.
it?
So we actually just started doing some of that. So we did Indianapolis. We were scheduled to do Fort Wayne. And so now we're looking to do Bloomington, Illinois. And so we want to go to like Detroit, St. Louis, and Atlanta and back to Indianapolis.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's just like our mini tour we're looking to do. And then after we conquer those cities, then we're looking to expand.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
cool.
And Chicago, of course, but
Yeah,
really
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have any shows coming up?
Yeah, well, it's actually a local show in Northwest Indiana, though.
Okay.
Yes, we do. Single Woman Chronicles. I have a T-shirt on. Woo woo. Yes. So it's March 29th at 6 p.m. So it's at the West Side Theater Guild in Gary, Indiana. It's a 2,000 seaters. So we
Cool.
last year we just did our Dr. Love the stage play there. So it was a
Mhm.
great crowd, great show. A lot of people might not even know about the theater, but it's really nice.
Yeah,
And so we're excited about that. I get to
yeah,
play the lead, Kara Kensington. It's all about women empowerment. It's comedy, it's music, it's dancing. It's a good show, fun show for
yeah.
everybody.
Are you still selling copies of it?
Yeah, we have a few
Sure.
DVDs left,
Yeah.
just a few, because a lot of people bought those. We have a few left, so they can go to charbria.com and then click store, and the DVD is on there.
Very
Yep.
cool. And that was filmed by yours truly.
Yep.
Where
Ooh. Oh, yeah, you get to check his work out. How awesome, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still have a few because they bought those up, so we have maybe 10 left.
Oh, wow. Good. That well, dad, they
'Cause we
sold it.
ordered a
That's
lot,
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have 10 left, and it's a really good, yeah,
Yeah.
example of his work. Yeah,
Yeah.
we love
And it was a great play. I
yeah,
I
thank
enjoyed it. I've
you.
seen it multiple times.
Oh,
So,
you have.
but yeah, all of your work is always so cool and unique. And I wanted to kind of get this in there about like the Great Gatsby dinner that you did. That was such a cool and unique show. Or that what was the
The
sort of 70s theme show?
Soul Train 7.
Yeah, yeah. Your shows are so unique because it's like you incorporate the music and dancing, you get people up and moving, like
Yeah.
you taught people how to dance like during the show and
Yeah.
just all that kind of like interaction. Then the the Soul Train one, you had everybody dancing and going with it like
So
us.
I
Yeah, that
everyone's
was
hair looked like mine. So he has the wigs on. Yeah, it was fun.
that was awesome. All you guys' shows are just amazing, and I recommend anybody out there that's on the fence about it, go check them out.
Yeah.
They're amazing, super fun. And you like when you do the dinner stuff, it's like almost like a date night for people.
It
I
is. I
noticed when
love
they
it. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because
It's
they're
so cute. Everybody comes out. And then those who aren't coming with dates, they have their little friends with them. And
Mhm.
yeah, Great Gatsby, I had the most. That was probably my favorite.
Yeah,
I don't know why I love the
yeah,
1920s, but I just I just do.
yeah.
So we had a good time.
And you guys nailed the aesthetic on everything.
Thank
So yeah,
you.
it was super fun. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Well, I would just say come check us out. Like he said, we love to entertain. We love to empower the community. We're looking to do more in Northwest Indiana as well. So if you're interested in us doing anything with you guys, we do so many different events. Like you said, Great Gatsby, dinner live musics, dinner live theaters. We choreograph. We can do dancing for events with dance group or women, ladies. We have a group of ladies who do some of those dances that are really fun. So check us out. Come check out our show, Single Woman Chronicles. March 29th, go to swcthestageplay.com. That's swcthestageplay.com. And we have a special $10 off. Just put code SWC and the number 10, SWC number 10. You get $10 off. Come on out, guys.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yes.
You guys watching at home, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys the next one. Take care.
Bye, guys.